All right, what's up, everybody? So, my friend Reggie one day to join us for Reference with Reggie doing our normal podcast, our normal live. But I decided I was like, okay, we still can do this before our next scheduled live stream on Thursday. So we get into it. So I'm just gonna go back over quickly the quick rules. We're gonna go over the targeting penalties, fair catch kicks, offensive pass interference change to 10 yards, coaches get more replay challenges and celebration enforcement, and then anything else Reggie may think is relevant. All right, I even made a cool little graphic for it.
Oh
Graphic.
yeah, I like the graphic, baby. And I like that you did your research too. You did your research on the upcoming things that the upcoming rules and all of those different uh little points of emphasis that we're gonna have this year. So I see where you're coming from right there. I like that.
Yes. So I had to find. So I think those things would be important because I know a lot of those are things that even I was kind of confused even when you're trying to explain it. So when we get into the middle of the season, fans like, oh man, they're like, hey, you know what they are now. So all
Oh
right,
yeah.
let's get started. So we'll start with the targeting penalty. Kind of explain to people what that is now.
Well, first of all, targeting is a safety foul, and we're trained when in doubt, throw it. Especially when you're able to have replay review there. That is one thing that can be reviewed, and it is like I always tell people, it's a safety foul. We want to make sure that guys can live to play another day, and that's very, very important. Um, you know, First of all, you want to look: is there going to be, a launching towards the head? If there's, you know, contact to the head and neck area, that's what we're looking for first. If there's a launch by the defender or crown of the helmet is automatic. There's going to be the flag is coming down. If we see this and that top of the head is shining, that helmet is shining down, no matter where you make contact at, the flag is coming down because it's for the defense too. And
Mm-hmm.
so, as the NCAA has put a special emphasis on that, we've also seen targeting fouls go down here in the past few years. So what they have done is they decided to loosen up the penalties since the players have now become a little bit more aware and coaches are teaching better tackling techniques. The first time it happens, there's just an ejection only for the rest of that game. Okay. So it's no more automatic the next half of the next game. The second offense, if you do it again, which is controlled by the league, it's the
Mm-hmm.
first half suspension for the next game then. And then the third offense, you get an entire game, plus the game that you have to leave out of. So I think those three things are enough to help a player, especially a hard hitter on defense. If you're a defensive starter, you have to be conscientious of protecting yourself, but second of all, protecting the other player in this game. You can't just go around and just hitting people with your head, crown of that helmet, or launching towards the head and neck area. Sometimes that contact happens if you have a runner. That's the reason why you don't see targeting call on running plays as much. If the running back is, like turning his head and leaning forward, and the defender is trying to get low, sometimes there's incidental head contact. And so that's a lot of fans be like, oh, that's targeting. It's like, and they be like, oh, be consistent. And, you have to have a launch. You have to have that intention towards right here, that part right here where they're moving their head towards that person to create a head and neck area contact there.
All right, so the next one, there was one that was kind of confusing to me, is the fair catch kicks. So, kind of explain to me what exactly and when you probably see people doing it, and like what it exactly does it is the actual.
Yeah, for reference, check out the San Diego Chargers Monday Night Football game last year and type in fair catch on YouTube. That'll give you a little insight there. But basically, what it is you're only going to probably see this right before halftime. Um, the reason why is usually if you have a team, the team that is on offense stuck within the 10-yard line may not have a good punter, and they kick the ball, and it's a short punt, high and short. The receiving team catches the ball at somewhere between the 35, 40-yard line, maybe even the 45-yard line with the fair catch signal after the short punt. There's 3 seconds left on the game clock before halftime, or maybe at the end of the game. That's kind of the only way you would use it right there. And so when that happens, when you give a fair catch signal, the coach lets the referee know, hey, I want to do a fair catch kick. Once he decides to do that, there's no turning back. He can't change his mind after. He's like, oh, there's a gust of wind. I changed my mind. Once it's been declared, it has been declared. And so you're going to line up the team that's going to kick it. Going to line up like in a kickoff formation. The defense is going to line up like 10 yards off, just like a kickoff return. They can send somebody back deep by the goalpost if they would like to return. Most of the time, that's not going to happen because if they miss the fair catch kick, the receiving team, well, the team that is on defense at that particular time will get the ball at the spot of the fair catch kick, just like scrimmage kick rules, aka field goal. All right. So we go back to those rules again. So they can attempt that kick. The cool thing about a fair catch kick, you can attempt that field goal with no pressure. So you can have a holder, you have to kick from the ground, or you can do a drop kick. So some punters are really good at that, especially rugby and soccer players. Drop the ball straight down, tip of the ball hits the ground, they kick it from the ground right there. So those are the only 2 ways you can do that. You can't use a tee, none of that. But I think it is a good, addition to the game. It's going to add a whole another context to playing the half out.
That's interesting. You never know those 3 points. You're in a tight game.
Right.
You know, that game turning the tide. As far as that could be that little piece that can make a big difference. All right, let's go through these last couple quickly. I know that was the big one that was harder to understand, but the offensive pass interference and kind of what's the rationale for kind of changing it from 15 yards to now 10 yards? And that's just at the college level, obviously. I know the NFL is typically more.
Yeah, the NCAA spends tons of money and tons of research and time in investing in studying our game. And most of the pass interference penalties happen within the 10-yard belt, especially on the offense side. There's a 10-yard belt from the line of scrimmage and 10 yards up the field. Most of those are going to happen through a pick play. And most of those happen through that. Or some type of illegal contact in which the receiver push off on the defender. Most of the time, it happens within that area there. And the game is more of an offensive game, more of an offensive-friendly game by the numbers. By the numbers, when an offensive team get a penalty of 10 yards or more, their drive is pretty much over with. So when you look at the analytics of it, that 15 yards is almost detrimental to an offense drive. There's really no way that they usually can recover after starting off or maybe doing their drive or doing the down series where they have a 15-yard penalty or a pick play within 5 to 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. So that rule is justified through research, analysis, and just basic observation there.
Okay. Just quickly, coaches is like getting more replay challenges. Why is that coming into effect?
Yeah, because most of the time, most coaches, the numbers, the analytics show here too. A lot of coaches, when they do use their 2 challenges, have been pretty successful. And so this is a way to reward a coach an opportunity to get it right. If they get one of those 2 challenges correct, they get an extra one. A lot of coaches are afraid to challenge certain rulings because they're trying to save that to the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But they're more inept to use one of their challenges if they know, hey, without a shadow of a doubt, this is a possibility this may be overturned. But you do have to have a timeout. So that's the thing. You do have to have a timeout. If you don't have a timeout, you won't be able to do it. But you get that extra one, and then you get your timeout restored right afterwards. So, that's kind of the way that one worked there.
So could you potentially have up to like 3 challenges in the game then if you get the timeout back?
Yep, you can potentially have 3 challenges. So, like, in the second half, you get your timeout, start back over again. You get 3 in the first half, and then you get 3 in the second half. So, it's if you got a tight game, you definitely want that challenge in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and then like I said, a lot of times in those tight games, I mean, every play counts. So if you got that one play that can make the difference with a touchdown or something like that, having that early in the game definitely going to be more beneficial. All right.
Oh yeah,
And
and these players are so good too. They're so good. Like, if you ever, if you ever had a chance to talk to somebody from replay, man, it's a lot going on up there. And on the field, we're trying to process that in real time. Like those little subtle mistakes gonna happen. And even if like you watch the game, we've all have said, man, I did not see that in first. They slowed it down.
Yeah, we're all human. So, all right. So the last one, and then if any others that we may not know about, celebration enforcement, like they're saying it's being modernized. So, like, what are some of the things they changed as far as like people with celebrations and things like that?
Yeah. Basically, what it is, they're giving us a standard. No more nose slash. This is automatic. Throat slash. Pulling up the shirt like you got a gun right there. The bang bang. All of that is a no go. Any kind of gang signs or anything like that, it's automatic. So it's just making the language clear and concise. So when people see it, there's no questioning about it. They also have a couple more other things that were listed with that, where you have the, any kind of taunting. When they stand over and do that, like you're standing over somebody that's down and you bobble your head, like that's taunting. That's an automatic flag because it's just the integrity of the game. And it's our job to, make sure the game stay within the game. And you may not like it, but it's to have control of the game to the point where the game is played in a way where we're not stopping and throwing flags for personal fouls and other dead ball penalties that might come from us letting 1 or 2 of those go. So it's just more concise language with that. But it's just basically actions that interfere with orderly game administration, and the excessive celebration in the end zone. If you come in somebody's face and you doing this, flag, you can celebrate with your teammates, but, don't spike the ball. Don't spin the ball in front of another player from a different team. Those are the things that we have to watch. We have to clean the game up and make sure, because everybody says, oh, they just celebrate, but they just celebrating until that guy rears back and smacks somebody upside the head, and now you got a brawl out on the field.
All right, so are there any other like rules and things that we might need to know about?
Yeah, on the D1 level. Now, on D2, we're not doing this, but on the D1 level, like if they buzz from upstairs, like if replay buzzes from upstairs, under 2 minutes, when there's under 2 minutes in the game or 2 minutes before halftime, the play clock will like they have to look at the play clock. If it says 12 seconds left, well, when they come back down, the 12 seconds are going to be reset on the play clock. They won't get 25 seconds on the play clock because replay buzzed it with 12 seconds left.
Okay.
So those are little things like that too, that you have that, people should watch out for. So, whenever replay buzz from upstairs, the clock is going to stop. The play clock is also going to stop. If it's less than 10 seconds, it's just going to go back up to 10 seconds. and that's only within that 2-minute window there.
All right. Well, I want to thank Reggie for joining us. This is Referee Reggie. One of the things we'll probably do throughout the season, as there are critical plays that happen and people are complaining, whining about the call, and we bring in Reggie and he kind of can explain to us what happened on that play, what we can show, I guess, with limits, and so we won't get sued. So
Right. I always say I'm gonna keep it within the rule book, just like if you ever want me to come on and talk about pass interference, what we look for on pass interference, I'll be more than happy to explain that too. That is something that I think a lot of people sometimes they give referees a hard time, but there are certain things that indicators, as we would call them, that we look for, and that determine whether we pass on a call or whether that's a call. And that's one thing. Another thing people don't realize too, with either holding or with pass interference, we have specific categories that a pass interference penalty must fit under, and we have specific with holding the exact same thing. We have categories that holding has to fit under, and the average fan don't know that. Like, I was a coach, played ball and everything, and I never knew this until I got in officiating, and it helps me look at the game completely different right now. And it's like little things that a lot of people don't realize. This when an offensive lineman grab a D lineman and pull him down like that, that's a hold, and that is something that they look for in that. So you have this thing also too with defensive holding from DBs, what they call a two-step process. Where a defensive holding can turn into a pass interference. All of those different types of dynamics, when you look at things through a referee eyes, it does change how you cheer for your team, and you're more likely to say, okay, yeah, this wasn't as bad as I thought it was, and there might be some questionable calls, there's always, because there's human error, but at the same time, the NCAA and the referees in the NCAA, man, they are phenomenal human beings. I've been to clinics with a lot of NFL guys, had a chance to meet a lot of these guys that you see on TV on Saturday and Sunday. I mean, they are phenomenal human beings, great ambassadors for the game. They're just out here doing the best they can to continue to uphold the integrity of the game and the integrity of the sport. And they are class acts, and they out there. They're gonna do their best to make sure they get the calls right.
All right. Well, thank you, Reggie. Guys, this has been Riffing with Reggie. I'm looking forward to everybody seeing him. Try to put it out tonight, or we'll put it out tonight. But again, thank you, Reggie, for joining Riffing with Reggie.
Peace.
Every touchdown got the whole state celebrating. Win or lose, we still stand 10 toes. Loyal to the Maroon, wherever life goes. The past built the foundation, now the future's calling. Another